you will be in class every day. And if you are 5 minutes late, the door will be locked. And if you miss a quiz, then you're going to have to give up your firstborn child. We'll keep track of you. Hey, everybody. It's Dr. Leah with another episode of And I Should Care Because, the podcast where we talk about higher ed policy changes and I help you navigate those changes one news story at a time. So, today's topic, it's actually going to be a two-parter. We're talking about the syllabus. So there's an article that I saw many moons ago, like probably April. I'm shooting this, it's August. So I've been sitting on it for a little bit because it didn't make sense to do a video about it and release it until now. The syllabus is something that you don't think about until the beginning of a semester. And this article that I found, it talked about the dreaded syllabus and how professors can make their syllabus more accessible, make it more clear, and just use regular language to talk about things that are helpful to help you, be your best and succeed in the course. So it was definitely a helpful read, but I want to translate some of that information for y'all because you need to understand just how important the syllabus is. So we don't, yeah, the first day you usually talk about it and it's like, okay, that's great. Now we're going to get started with the course, and then you never look at the syllabus again. But I want to encourage you to actually sit down and take some time with your syllabus and actually look at it for real, and continue to look at it and use it as a resource throughout the semester. And I'll tell you why. Hopefully you'll be convinced by the end of this episode, and if not this one, then the next one. So the link will be in the description for the article, and you can kind of read that article from the point of view of, professor to professor. But hopefully this episode will help you understand why the syllabus is so important and why you shouldn't just, meh and lose it or never open it. If you're looking at Blackboard or whatever your learning management system is online, you should always read through your syllabus. All right. So you're going to see me look to the side from time to time. I'm trying to save paper. I don't want to print out my notes and then, look down at those and then after I'm done be like, all right, well, whoop, and throw it in the recycling when I could just have it up on another screen. So if I look at my notes, you see me look away, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at my notes to make sure that I don't miss anything because there's a lot of information to cover. So here we go. The syllabus. First, let's talk about the problem with the syllabus. Usually it's written like a legal document and it's hard to understand, or it's just so wordy and so intimidating. You will be in class every day, and if you are 5 minutes late, the door will be locked, and if you miss a quiz, then you're going to have to give up your firstborn child. We'll keep track of you. It's very, very legalistic and unhelpful the way that most syllabi are written. So just quickly, syllabi, that is the plural form of syllabus. All right. So just let's make sure we're all together on the same page. So the writing style of the syllabus is very intimidating and it's not inviting at all. That's a huge problem. The other problem is that oftentimes the policies that are written are much more harsh than what actually goes on, but it discourages students from going to their professor when they are struggling or when they need a little bit of grace because life happened and they need an extension or, whatever. So because of that super harsh language, it makes students shy away from the class and it makes y'all just disappear, just straight ghost, instead of sending an email or stopping by office hours or whatever to communicate with your professor to say, hey, life been lifing, my bad. I've done these things already to try to make up work and da 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 da. I understand there's a policy. What can we work out? If the policy says ain't no grace, then why are people going to waste their time to come and ask, right? So that's a problem. That the policies that we write are really, really harsh and unrealistic because professors be slacking all the time. It'll say, oh yeah, emails will be returned within 1 business day. 5 days later, you still don't have a response because your professor decided to do not emails. but they don't get in trouble for that. I'm gonna say we don't get in trouble for that. And then there's also, oh, grades will be available within X amount of time of taking an exam. Man, the semester's almost done and you got one grade. One grade from one assignment. That's trash. So professors write these really harsh, grading policies and, late work policies, and we can't even adhere to what we say we're going to do in the syllabus. So problematic. The last thing is there's kind of this boilerplate that goes at the end. So what you probably don't know is that the syllabus is usually, it starts from a template that the department has. So it's got, the logo for the school and all the things. It's got, kind of placeholders for all the different sections that you would normally see in a syllabus, which we're going to go over in a minute. And then it's got what I call the boilerplate. And that's just all of the stuff at the end that no one really reads, but it has to be there. And it is as uninviting and boring as watching paint dry. Ugh. So that's again super problematic because hidden within that really boring text is some resources that you should know exist and how to reach them and use them. So let's talk about what is actually in the syllabus. Now, from school to school, department to department, the names and titles for the different sections may change, but you should be able to identify it. Usually the order is approximately the same, and the information that's within it is the same. So just bear with me. If it's not exactly what you see on your syllabus, you can probably match it up. But if you wanted to, this would be a good time if you're not like driving or something. If you're driving, you shouldn't be watching a YouTube video. So let's just put that out there. But if you're doing something that you can't like, hold a syllabus or pull up a syllabus on your computer, that's cool. But if you can, it would be a good idea to kind of look at an old syllabus, or if you already started school, to just look at your syllabus and be like, oh, okay, so that's what that is. That's what that is. And find some of this information either during the time that you're watching this or listening or after. Because I'm telling you, it will really help you be prepared for the rest of the semester. All right. So, first piece of information that you get on the syllabus. Obviously, the title of the course, when the class meets, how often, all of those things, who the instructor is, their email address, office hours, which may be called student hours or drop-in hours, but time that the professor is available for you to stop by or, either in person or virtually to get help, to ask questions, just to say hi and introduce yourself, whatever. All of that information is right up top, and it's stuff that you should know. You should know when that class is going to meet, right? Because you've already made your schedule, and class isn't the only thing that you have. You have extracurricular activities that you may be involved in. A lot of people work, take care of family. You have a family of your own. You picking up siblings from school, and you got to be human, right? So like go to the grocery store, take a shower, go to the gym. Like those are things that people do, right? So you have to know when your class meets. If you don't, why? Why are you in school? Why? Anyway, so that's the basic information for the course. After that, there's usually something called the course description. And what information is here really varies. So oftentimes you'll see information about, what topics the course is going to cover, maybe a little bit about the types of assignments you're going to do or how you're going to be graded, but usually that stuff's kind of later on. It's usually an overview of the course and what it is you're going to be learning in the course. Sometimes you'll see something about prerequisites there. Sometimes it'll be with the top part of information where it's talking about what class it is and when it meets and all that stuff. But the prerequisites are just, you have to take these courses before you can take this course so that you're actually prepared and you have the foundation necessary to move forward with this material that we're going to show you. So for the classes that I teach, if it's an intro class, maybe there's no prerequisites. It's an introductory course. But if I'm teaching a 200 level biochem course, Maybe you need to have all of your Gen Chem done, or a semester of organic. If it's a 400 level biochem course, you absolutely need to have organic and all the other chemistries. So the prereqs just tell you when you're scheduling all the stuff for the next semester, all right, did I take all the things that I need to be ready for this coming semester for the classes I need to take? Cool, cool, cool. And usually you have to get a certain grade too. Anyway, the course description just tells you this is what you're going to be learning about. This is what the course is about. You should already know that information in general, but it will give you a little bit more in depth, about topics and stuff like that. Usually. So after that, we have the course objectives. So course objectives may be also termed student learning outcomes or goals, course goals, lots of different titles for very similar information. But it's pretty much a breakdown of these are the concepts that you will be learning in this class. It's really variable whether or not it talks, really specific and detailed and it gives you like 80 different things that you're going to be responsible for, or if it's really broad, and there's like 5 different areas that you're going to learn and grow in. But that's a really good place to look at when you're thinking about studying for exams and final exams, because the course objectives or student learning outcomes, whatever it is, that's what your instructor should be using to guide the course in terms of the types of questions that they're asking and how they're prioritizing the information, what you should know the best and what they're going to spend time quizzing and testing you on, and making sure that you understand these basic concepts so that you're ready to move on to the next level. So don't sleep on those course objectives. It can actually really help you focus when there's a whole lot of material in the course. And if you have questions about it, you can ask your professor about the syllabus. Believe me, it will make their day to know that one person actually read the syllabus. I promise. So after the objectives, which you want to revisit throughout the semester, please do. The next thing that you're going to look at is, so all of these don't have this. I have on my my notes over there, class schedule. And that doesn't mean, when the class meets, but what days are you doing what? So when are you covering chapter 1? When is the first quiz? When is assignment 1 due? That kind of thing. Class schedule. Usually it is a tentative class schedule, meaning ideal scenario, this is how the class flow is going to work. But if you have a snow day or your professor gets sick and maybe you miss a day or whatever happens, there's some random campus thing that says, hey, classes are canceled on this day, or professors, this is a mental health day, so nothing's due on this day and you were supposed to have an exam. Things move around. So it's just there to give you an idea of the pacing of the course and when things are due. If you don't sit down with this ASAP and put those dates in your calendar, then I don't know what to do with you. But you need to. It will keep you on track. Put all of your exams, your assignments, quizzes, all of those things need to make it to your calendar. If you use your phone or your computer, whatever it is, if you are old school and you use a planner, like a physical, turn the page planner, which low key, I really like those. I'm not even going to hold you. Whatever it is that you use to organize your life, put the dates in there. Because the last thing that your professor wants to hear is, oh, I didn't know that was due. I didn't know we was having an exam today. Boo-boo. You knew this date. You had the ability to know this date since the very first day of the course. Don't come to me with that. Please don't. The syllabus really is like a contract. It tells you this is what's going to go down in the course. This is what's expected of you and how you need to perform to get the grade that you desire. There's an add drop period in the beginning of the semester, which allows you to look at that syllabus and decide whether or not you want to sign on to that contract and take that course. If you don't, if you're like, yo, they asking the most and I just, nope, then drop the class, get something else. But you really need to take the time with that syllabus on the front end to make sure that you can reasonably do what's being asked of you. So after the class schedule, which again, you may not get the privilege of that, but there may be something that tells you what chapters you're going to cover or something to give you an idea of the pacing of the course. After that, there's the grading policy, and that name can kind of change, but it just tells you what you need, what point wise you need to get an A, B, C, whatever. Or if it's on the 4.0 scale, 1, 2, 3. So that just tells you this many points equals this grade. Also, there's usually stuff about a late work policy, exams, assignments, that kind of thing. So it tells you more about the types of work that you're going to be doing in the course and how you're going to be evaluated. So oftentimes it's late work, we don't take it. And that's really harsh. Most of the time professors will take late work, even if they take a few points off, if you just go to them in a timely manner to say, hey, look, this thing happened. I know I knew the date, but I struggle. Can I please some points? And usually people will work with you. Now you should probably say that like in full sentences, but I just summarized in my shorthand speak. Y'all know how it is. Sometimes you just don't have the words. But anyway, all of that information is in the syllabus in terms of exams. How many points is each exam worth? How many exams are you going to have? Quizzes, how many points? Are they open book or closed book? Assignments, are you writing papers? Are you doing homework? Is there online homework that you need to sign up and get some subscription for? All of that information is in the syllabus. So what's a pet peeve of a professor? When you come and ask them something that's in the syllabus, and it's like, did you read it? I spent time on it. I wrote it. We talked about it in the first day of class. Did you clean out your ears? So it's one of those things that you need to look at the syllabus first before you start asking questions of your professor, because they give you the syllabus in the hopes that they don't get 50 emails asking when is assignment 1 due. That's the whole goal, the whole entire goal. So with the grading policy, sometimes there's information about extra credit, if there is extra credit, or it's like, ain't no extra credit. Don't ask me, don't at me. So all of those things kind of vary depending on what the course is, the department, the school, but that information is available. The last piece is what I call the boilerplate, and that talks about different policies for academic dishonesty and cheating, plagiarism, talks about Title IX, so harassment issues, if something's happening, who do you go to? But also there's usually information about resources. Sometimes you'll see things about the library and like, hey, the library rents laptops, so if you need a laptop, go get you one. Or talking about places that you can go for testing if you need a quiet testing environment. So the boilerplate kind of varies depending on the school and the resources and all that stuff. But you'll also usually see something about counseling services and where you can go if you are experiencing anxiety or you just need someone to talk to. So you really do want to look at that. Sometimes it's hard because the language is, again, it's rough. It's very legal and, the tone is strong. But you need to understand, especially with like the academic dishonesty piece, sometimes that piece is written like, I know you're going to do wrong. And when you do, I'm here and I'm going to catch you. And this is what's going to happen. And it's like, most of the time when people are cheating and whatever else, it's because they are desperate and they don't feel like they have a way out. And the syllabus can contribute to people feeling that way, because the syllabus is like, oh, you missed work? Oh, well. You missed an exam? Oh, well. You got life going on? Oh, well. My class should be the priority, son. And that's just not realistic. So again, the article that I linked in the description talks about how we as professors can ease up on that a little bit and be more realistic to say, hey, life happens. It happens to me. I know it happens to you. So let's just give some grace from the jump and just let me know when you need to use it. You need to be responsible, communicate with me early and often. But if you need a little bit of grace, this is the grace I can offer. You need more than that, talk to me. We'll see what we can do. And that is so much more approachable than I'm shaking my finger at you and I'm looking, I'm watching. That's just mean, bruh. So the syllabus has a lot of information and a lot of resources in it. But because it can be so unapproachable, students are like, nah, I'm not reading that. I can't. And it's not even like you can't understand it. Y'all ain't stupid. But who wants to read something that's like condescending and belittling? I don't. If it assumes that I'm going to do wrong and that I'm going to come and beg you for, forgiveness and all this other stuff, man, I ain't going to. No, I ain't wasting my time on that. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Since you put your stuff out there, how you going to handle me, then I'm going to just do what I'm going to do and accept the consequences because you're clearly not going to work with me. So I think that if we as professors can write a syllabus that is more approachable, then it would open the door for y'all as students to approach us to say, hey, life be lifing. I need some grace. Or you said I could use some grace, so I'm needed on this one. Is that all right? If we did that, I think a lot more people would be more successful and we would develop more communication skills so that everybody can succeed. Because I feel like if a lot of students fail a course, it's not just the students failing, it's also the instructor. And if the instructor isn't doing the work to diagnose what's going on so they can fix it, that's a huge problem. So, read your syllabus. It's really, really important. It's got a lot of information, and even if it feels unapproachable or it feels like your instructor is like watching you with squinted eye, like just ready to catch you do something bad, try to shake it off. Try to shake it off and take what you need so that you can actually succeed in the course. That's it for this episode. The next episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about the expectations that the syllabus sets. And that's not always written explicitly. So you definitely want to check out the next episode so you can get all the information that you need from the syllabus. With that said, if you have any questions about the syllabus, how to read it, suggestions for how to make a syllabus more approachable, if you saw something in a syllabus that was like, oh, that was all right, that made me feel more welcome and made me want to communicate with my professor more, share it in the comments, because that's just for me, low key. I still got to write these things and I still need to talk to students all the time. So I love feedback to learn how I can be more approachable and understanding. Y'all got responsibility just like I do to the course. But I think that if we can meet in the middle, more in the middle than traditionally done, then everybody wins. So share your comments, share your struggles. I hope you don't got too many, but I know they're out there. Share all the things in the comments and on Twitter, and come back for the next episode to wrap up the dreaded syllabus. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Make it a great day for somebody else. And I'll see you soon. Bye.